Hey, this is Amanda Elo'esh, and I am here with your weekly Goddess Diary, your inspiration for leading the life of a goddess, a priestess, a superstar. You know what it's like, feeling like everything in your life is amazing. Well, on that tip, today I wanted to talk a little bit about this very common female practice, but men can do it too, and that is holding our rage inside. Now, it has not been too many generations ago where women did not have a lot of freedom. We did not have a lot of power to speak our voices. It wasn't safe. It wasn't acceptable, certainly not acceptable to be angry. And so I think a lot of times the gentle, caring, nurturing part of us tends to wag a little finger when we get angry and not only say that it's not okay to be angry, but it's not safe to express it. And so what happens is the anger happens, things piss us off as goddesses, and instead of getting out of our system, it gets contracted and it goes down inside and it gets stuck in there somewhere. And the biggest problem is that over time, if it's not given an opportunity to come out and release, it can turn into all kinds of things. On emotional levels, it can turn into depression. It can turn into a numbing out, which is basically depression, but just not being present, really being tuned out, not enjoying life as much. It doesn't have to be as big as depression, but it can cut into our enjoyment of life, irritability, impatience, generally not being a nice person, generally not feeling satisfied or happy with our lives because we've got so much in there that's angry, that's not coming out. It can absolutely kill our creativity. It can kill our sexuality. It can kill our sensuality. And these are all really important parts of my life that I would hate to say goodbye to. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about how to let it out, because there are harmful ways of expressing anger, which I talked about a long time ago. If we just react in our anger and let it out, let it fly like that without a lot of practice and experience, a lot of times we end up aiming it at somebody. And then it usually just gets multiplied. It will relieve us for a moment, but then there's this consciousness that we've actually probably done some harm. And so what happens? Anger at the self goes back in, or shame, or judgment creates a new stress. So the best way to deal with anger is to let it out in healthy ways. And so a lot of this ties in with the archetype of the primal goddess, which we'll be talking about in a few months. This month the focus is on the archetype of the creator, preserver, destroyer, Kali Ma, the Tibetan Dakinis, Pele, Sekhmet, the Egyptian goddess, lion-headed goddess. I just wanted to share one brief practice, first of all, just to say, whether you're a woman or not, but especially if you're a woman, anger is just a normal human experience, and it's perfectly all right to feel angry. It's perfectly all right to feel rage. Doesn't even take that much, to think about the crazy things that are happening out there in the world to bring up a sense of anger. And then we have plenty of opportunities in our personal lives as well. Anger happens, and it's worse. It's much worse to keep it inside than to let it go. I think we're kind of like, oops, like a fart. We don't want to pollute the environment with our anger. So here's a good way of letting it out so that it's not causing harm in the world, basically. And one great way is to be very, very physical. When I used to get upset, well, there's some of my favorite things were, I used to listen to Hole, which is like kind of, female ragey kind of, Courtney Love. I used to love to be in my car so I could blast the music, and my terrible ability to sing whole songs could not be criticized by anybody. But I would just, it didn't matter how bad it sounded. I would just let it out vocally, just just really sing along with it. And it's angry words, and I was able to just get it out, and it's singing, which is and it just felt really good in my body. It felt a little energizing, actually, but mostly it just relieved the frustration. I used to talk about things to piss you off. I used to do child abuse investigation. And and interact with abusive parents, and of course I would treat them professionally, and reserve my judgment. I was a lot less compassionate person back then. That was years and years and years and years ago. Although it did teach me a lot of compassion, it brought up a lot of anger, and a lot of anger at just what happens in the world because of human wounding and how it gets passed on generation to generation. Brought up a lot of anger, and I would get in my car and I'd turn on Hole and I'd just scream it out. Another thing that I would do is I would go to the gym, and I would go crazy on one of those those VersaClimbers that are really high energy, and I would listen to metal. I'd listen to like metal music or really fast paced like Ministry, and just go crazy and get it out of my system like that. If energetically that's intense, you don't have the ability for whatever reason to be energetic like that, artwork, doing a collage, make it dark. It can be very, very dark. You don't need to show it to anybody, but really express yourself, write it out. But basically give it an expression. And one thing that I want to invite you to do, if you're in the Bay Area, May 11th, I am doing a workshop, and my friend and apprentice, Sophia Constance, who is an amazing contortionist and performance artist. She's just off the hook in all different kinds of artistic ways. She's going to be helping me. We're going to create a ritual. We're going to do mask making, and we're going to do this amazing Shamanic Butoh Rebirthing ritual that's very energetic, and it will help. It'll help just like fighting for your life. Not literally, but it'll feel like it, and it's going to be great. Very energetically releasing. So you're invited, and you can get information about it on my website. If you're not there right now, go there. It's amandaeloesh.com, and I'm going to it'll be a part of the blog that's connected with this video right here. And if you're not getting my newsletters and you like what you see, then you might want to consider signing up for my newsletters, because these lovely goddess diaries will get sent to your inbox automatically every single week, free of charge, my gift to you. And there are times when I put in little freebies, because you're awesome and you're on this magic carpet ride with me that you won't get anywhere else. So head on over to amandaeloesh.com. And feel free to tell your friends. Like me on Facebook, Amanda Elo'esh Johnson. I have a page. And until next week, don't hold it in. Get it out of your system. And may the source be with you.